I have a question for MAGA. Why are you opposed to undocumented immigrants living in our country? Is it because they don't pay taxes? Because they do. Most of them do. In fact, I looked it up. As per the Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy, undocumented immigrants paid into federal, state, and local taxes a combined total of $96.7 billion in 2022. Half of the undocumented immigrants filed tax returns via an ITIN, or an individual tax identification number. And those that didn't file a return, they didn't get a return. And so they ended up paying upwards of 4 to 5 times more than what they owed because they didn't file a tax return. Undocumented immigrants that aren't paying taxes, most likely the reason for that is because they are not being paid via an accounting system, which means they're probably being paid under the table, which means they're probably being paid less than minimum wage. The federally stated minimum wage in America is $7.25 an hour. So they're probably getting paid $7 or less. But for the sake of argument, let's just say they're getting paid $7 an hour. $7 an hour times 40 hours in a week times 52 weeks in a year equals $14,560 for the year, gross. The standard deduction in 2024 was $14,600. So the adjusted gross income of an undocumented immigrant being paid $7 an hour is $14,560 minus the standard deduction of $14,600, which is zero, which means they don't owe taxes anyways, which means there is not one single undocumented immigrant who isn't paying taxes owed. So it can't be taxes because I just debunked the shit out of that fake news story. So what is it? Is it that they're taking your jobs? Most, if not all, undocumented immigrants take jobs like farming and framing and drywall hanging and roofing and masonry and gardening and landscaping and what else? Because they're willing to work these jobs for the slave wages that these companies are paying them. So what do you think will happen when we deport them all? Do you think American workers will step in and take those jobs for the slave wages that they were being paid? Probably not. American workers will expect, at minimum, the federally stated minimum, but they will be paid the state minimum, which the average state minimum is $15 an hour, 2 to 3 to 4 times more than undocumented immigrants are being paid. So based on that, what do you think is going to happen to prices? It doesn't take an economist to know that prices will go up, right? So it can't be jobs because Americans rely on slaves, right? So what is it? Crime? I don't think so, because there are more criminals per capita in our country that are citizens than the next to zero criminals per capita of immigrants. And if you were personally affected by, say, an immigrant raping your daughter, what does that have to do with the other immigrants? That's like saying a white guy raped my daughter So therefore, all white people need to be deported or imprisoned. Doesn't make any sense, right? Why would you punish an entire race for one man's action? That's racist. So it can't be crime. So what is it? I legit would like to know. Because in my 56 years on this planet, I have not once been negatively impacted by undocumented immigrants living in this country in the pursuit of happiness, just like me. Let me know in the comments or tag me in a video. I really would like to know what your issue is. Or you could just shut the fuck up. Your choice.